Hello everybody, this is meteorologist Ryan Willis, and this is your weekly weather briefing for North and Central Georgia for the week starting October 16th, 2025. The week ahead will again bring mostly dry conditions, though there will be a chance for rain on Sunday with the cold front. Until then, the dry weather and above normal temperatures will persist through Saturday, with the front on Sunday bringing that chance for rain. There is a low risk for a couple of strong to perhaps an isolated marginally severe thunderstorm with gusty winds on Sunday, but for the most part we're looking at only showers and a couple of isolated thunderstorms, and rainfall totals will be largely less than a half an inch. More fall-like temperatures will come to the area behind the front next week. As I mentioned, we're looking at dry and warm conditions through Saturday with high pressure remaining in control before the cold front approaches the area, which will arrive on Sunday. That Sunday cold front brings our only chance of any appreciable rainfall, which is much needed at this point, though the forecast amounts are going to be insufficient to really improve the drought that we have ongoing. Another front midweek next week looks like it'll be primarily dry and just bring us some cooler temperatures. Alright, so here we're taking a look at 6-hourly precipitation amounts expected to give us kind of a general look at the rainfall timing and progression on Sunday, and you can see that that will enter northwest Georgia as early Sunday morning and push southeast through Sunday afternoon, with the coverage and intensity likely diminishing the further east you go in the area. The higher risk for an isolated strong or perhaps a brief severe thunderstorm with gusty winds would be mainly in northwest Georgia, with that risk diminishing farther southeast. Again, while this front on Sunday will bring our best chance for rainfall that we've seen in quite some time, unfortunately the overall totals will not be sufficient to put a dent in our building drought. The highest chance for totals that could be up to a half an inch or perhaps locally higher will be across far north and northwest Georgia, with much lower amounts the further south and east you get, and a really good portion of the area will likely receive less than 1/10 of an inch when all is said and done. Taking a look at temperatures over the next 7 days, initially we will be continuing our pattern of above normal and warm temperatures, especially for highs from today through Saturday, before we start to notice a cool down behind our initial front on Sunday, and then really into mid to late next week when we likely will have a secondary cold front bring even cooler temperatures. The most noticeable thing you'll see will be the low temperatures that will cool off beginning early next week, with more widespread 40s becoming the norm for the first time this season so far. The latest drought monitor, which was released this morning, shows our drought has not improved. In fact, some of the moderate and severe drought has expanded slightly across the area, with the remainder of the area remaining in that D0 abnormally dry category. That rainfall has remained well below normal since early September, and there's little prospect for any notable improvement in the drought for the foreseeable future. Once again, there is little prospect of any significant rainfall or improvement for our drought. Looking ahead for the 6 to 10 day period, we favor warmer than normal temperatures as well as below to perhaps near normal precipitation, but no strong signals for increased precipitation during that time. Expanding on that a little bit further through the 3-month drought outlook period, which now extends through the end of January with the latest release this morning, you can see drought is predicted to persist or expand over the next 3 months as the development of La Nina in the Pacific favors overall drier conditions. Very quickly looking at the tropics, fortunately the Atlantic remains very quiet and is forecast to remain inactive over the week ahead. That concludes our weekly briefing for the week starting October 16th, If you need to get in touch with us, here are a number of ways to do so, and we hope you have a good weekend and week ahead.